If you're part of an HOA or board, you need an HOA maintenance checklist. This is for those of you that need to do a property or unit inspection, landlords that need to inspect their units, or tenants that want to ensure the inspection goes smoothly. Today I'm going to help you decide what needs to be on your HOA maintenance checklist and understand what an HOA is. Welcome back, Loopers. My name is Sydney and I'm a content creator here at DoorLoop. If you want to download our checklist to follow along to today's video, go ahead and click the link down in the description. Let's go ahead and dive right in by answering an important question. What is an HOA? A homeowners association, or an HOA, is a body of self-governing people that manage several tasks and responsibilities in a neighborhood. These people are typically volunteer homeowners who collect fees and conduct inspections in the community to make sure that everything is in order. An HOA can govern various types of properties, like condos, houses, townhouses, apartments, and many more. Just like the types of properties, the way that the HOA functions can also be different from community to community. They typically have board meetings where they'll discuss the current state of the community and report on every HOA violation and course of action. Every community that is governed by an HOA is subject to different sets of laws and bylaws. These laws are enforced by the members of the association and funded by fees. Depending on the community, these fees can vary greatly, but they also cover various things, which we'll discuss later. We'll also discuss the best things to include in an HOA maintenance checklist to ensure that your community stays as clean as possible. So what do HOA fees cover? Typically, they'll cover a range of services. These services depend on the property types as well as the community. Although most times these services are for common areas, there are sometimes for some kind of utility that the whole community uses. Some examples of this include water and sewer fees, garbage disposal, swimming pools, tennis courts, lobbies, and patios. Apart from maintaining these common areas and providing extra utilities to the community, a community association may also charge a special fee for a repair that is out of the budget, like a roof replacement. As I mentioned before, the fees for an HOA vary drastically. A normal range for HOA fees can range from $100 to $2,500 a month, with the average being around $300 to $700. The higher the service fee, the more services you will be provided. So what happens if someone doesn't pay these fees? In the case that someone doesn't pay their HOA fees, there are many different possibilities of what action can be taken by the association. The actions that associations take depend solely on the contract between the homeowner and the HOA. These actions could be as simple as charging a late fee or allowing the homeowner to have an extension. However, some contracts give the HOA permission to file a lawsuit against the homeowner or even foreclose the homeowner's property. So now that you know all about HOAs, let's dive into how to keep up with property maintenance. As stated in the beginning, HOA maintenance affects both tenants and property management companies. There are many things that need to be looked after to make sure that they don't face any action from the HOA management. If you're not sure what to pay close attention to in order to succeed in the next HOA inspection, we've compiled an HOA maintenance checklist that outlines everything you need to maintain a good condition to pass the inspection. The first thing that you should make sure to examine before the yearly review is the exterior of your property. Given that it's part of your property most exposed to the public, it will be where most of the inspection takes place. Let's start with structural components. One of the first things that an HOA will inspect is the foundation and the walls. You must make sure that there is no structural problem in the foundation and that the paint on the walls matches that of the rest of the houses. If there are any problems with these, the HOA may cover these repairs or they may order you to do the repairs. Another thing to look out for in the exterior of your property is windows and vents. Windows often crack and repair will be demanded. The vents also break often, and if they're not in good condition, they will need to be replaced. Your checklist should also include any electrical supply boxes in the inspection. This includes any electrical lines as well that run on your property. Sometimes hiring a company to inspect these may be a good idea since it could be dangerous to inspect them yourself. Wood decks and patios also fall under the category of what will be inspected by the HOA. The reason for this is that these kind of decks run the risk of mold or housing termites. This could be a problem as it may lead to repairs or a complete replacement of the deck. Some associations also order members to do a monthly or annual inspection of these for pest control. Wood decks also have structural requirements that ensure that it would not fly away in the event of a hurricane or tropical storm. These inspections are typically done by professional or by members of the HOA. There are also some other components of the exterior of your property that an HOA will probably inspect, but they don't always do. Next on your HOA maintenance checklist is the interior of your property. A thorough inspection of the interior will be done to ensure that everything is clean and that there is nothing broken within the property. One of the most important things that are going to be checked on the inside of your property is the walls and the roof. When checking the walls, it's vital to make sure that there are no cracks in the the walls that can let in water. These cracks can also let in cold air and serve as future structural damage. The paint on the walls also needs to be inspected, as it may be fading or ripping off, and they may need to be repainted. The roof is also a very important thing that will be on the HOA checklist. The roof needs to be checked thoroughly to make sure that there are no leaks anywhere on the property. If there are any leaks, that is something that needs to be fixed immediately. If there are gutters attached to the roof, those will also need to be inspected. Another component of the interior of a property that will need to be checked is the flooring. The flooring of the entire property would have to be checked for uneven flooring. These uneven floorings may cause falls that lead to injuries. For this reason, the flooring must be thoroughly inspected and replaced if necessary. Apart from the interior inspections, there are also some other components that may need to be inspected as part of the HOA review. Shown here is a list of possible things that may need to be inspected on your property. The next part of your HOA maintenance checklist is the utilities on your property. These utilities vary in each organization, but we'll be listing the most common ones. The most important utility that needs to be checked regularly is the air conditioning for your property. All units of the air conditioner must be in good condition and working, including the condenser. Apart from the air conditioning, the heaters should also be inspected, like the hot water heaters. Since not everyone has the expertise to perform these kinds of inspections, it is recommended that a professional or someone with experience perform these inspections. There are also many components of other utilities that need to be inspected, including phone lines, gas lines, water lines, and others. The most important part of checking these is to make sure that there are no leaks within them. As mentioned before, these inspections cannot be done properly by just anyone, so it is advisable to have someone with expertise or a professional conduct them. Shown here is a list of possible things that may be inspected by an HOA on a yearly basis. The last section that should be included in your HOA maintenance checklist is the common areas. These could also vary depending on the association, but I've provided the most common ones. Starting with the yard and landscaping. One of the things that the HOA association will pay most attention to is whether or not your lawn is trimmed to the right length. If the grass is too long, they'll order you to cut it. Also, any trees or bushes should be trimmed to a length to make sure that they don't obscure any other common areas like a sidewalk. This service could be done by yourself or a professional, since it does not require much skill or experience. Another component of common areas of your property that must be inspected to make sure that they are in good condition is your fences and gates. There must be no loose bolts or screws, as they should appear clean and in good condition at all times. Other common area components like security cameras and parking lots should be inspected regularly to make sure they appear in good condition and are working properly. If you haven't already, make sure to download the free template in the description. Good luck with your maintenance, and I really hope that this video helped you out. If it did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and check out this playlist for more tips and tricks on being a property manager or landlord. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!